Building collapse has become a recurring incident in Lagos, a mega city where at times, just when one thinks the frequent cases of buildings caving in has become a history, a building suddenly collapses. Buildings collapse when they become distressed and dilapidated over the years, but with Lagos having its fair share of such incidents, which often claimed lives, apart from injuries and temporary displacement, the need for monitoring of defective structure has become imperative.
Most of the buildings that are collapsing, most of them, they are developed by developers, by desperate developers who purchase land from original owners and develop for a period of, let's say, 20 to 25 years. So whatever they are putting in place, they have their target. By the time it's 20 years, they must have recouped their money. So they don't, most of them don't care about the structure they are putting in place, the stability, in terms of the quality of cement, quality of sand, gravel, and even use of professionals.
Monitoring of distressed buildings in some cases lead to demolition of structures considered no longer safe for human habitation by the State Building Control Agency, LAPSCA. However, those LAPSCA have the capacity to monitor distressed buildings spread across Lagos.
Anything that is not according to law and they feel that is not good, they hold it to the government to call and report. And when the government is coming in, they won't disturb us. And that is an example that they have made. And I thank them, Governor Sanwo-Olu is seizing this opportunity to say thank you.
The personnel of the two agencies, they are very thin on the ground. And that's a fact. In terms of personnel, in terms of vehicles, in terms of materials, in terms of equipment, they are very lean on ground. And I think that it's high time to employ and to beef up these agencies like we have done to LIRS.
LAPSCA is grossly inadequate in controlling buildings, and not because they don't have professionals, they have professionals, but how many buildings to a professional under LAPSCA? And so they can't do it effectively because they don't have the strength. How many buildings will they control? How many officers will they have? And in Alimosho alone, how many buildings are going on, construction work are going on that they want to control? Before you know it, they are overwhelmed. And in some other cases too, you find out that they don't even have the security personnel that are even enough in case they meet danger, they meet resistance on all these sites.
I think the Lagos State Building Control Agency is adequately equipped to monitor distressed buildings in Lagos State. However, because Lagos State is a mega city that is constantly expanding, the agency also has to constantly increase its capacity.
Through demolition of defective buildings is being vigorously pursued. Some stakeholders in building construction industry believe that monitoring of distressed buildings should not be left alone to government.
The community allows it. If we raise eyebrow for such, definitely, and how do we do this? We get the authority concerned informed immediately. We send pictures to them, we give them the evidence of what is actually happening around us, so that government will come and do the necessary thing that they need to do. Because let me tell you, government cannot, I said it earlier, government cannot be everywhere. We supposed to help government to actually get all these things done.
Yes, I believe the Lagos State Building Control Agency should include and involve the public in monitoring distressed buildings in Lagos State. There's a lot that the public can do. For instance, if any member of the public sees a distressed building, there should be a call line, there should be a customer control line, a customer line that they can call to report distressed buildings.
While it continues to monitor dilapidated buildings across the mega city, LAPSCA is making it clear that no building will be spared regardless of their location or personalities involved.
Lagos State Building Control Agencies have been going about identify all distressed buildings and all the existing structures and all ongoing are fit for habitation. Any distressed or dilapidated building that is not fit for habitation has to be removed. That's exactly what we are doing here. And all the statutory notices have been served. Most of the ones we are removing today, we've been on it for the past 4 or 5 years.
The state government and stakeholders in building construction industry believe that there is the need for concerted effort with residents playing a role in ridding the state of inhabitable structures.
Welcome back. Well, this is the second topic for today. The first one was really hot, but today we'll want to look at loads of things concerning building and collapse, and we'll have a guest in the studios with us today. We have estate surveyor and valuer Tosin Kadri with us in the studio. Good morning to you. He's the chairman, Nigerian Institution of Estate Surveyors and Valuers, Lagos State. Good morning to you once again.
Madam. Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning, everybody. Good morning. Nice to be here.
We know that building collapse cannot end. Maybe it will, but we know that this is really getting to people where we have dilapidated system buildings that are not, properly handled, and loads of people losing their lives. Tell us, what are you guys doing to avert this terrible situation, and what do you think will help Nigerians?
Thank you so
Or
much.
Lagosians?
Thank you so much. Building collapse is something of a great concern to all of us, particularly in the build and construction industry. And in the recent times, we have always been working very closely with Lagos State government agencies towards promoting and educating, enlightening the public of what needs to be done, particularly for we professionals, estate surveyors and valuers, managers, property managers. We have a whole lot of role to play. We have an important role to play by trying to nip it in the bud, because building will not just collapse suddenly, particularly existing buildings. Existing building will not just collapse suddenly. It will have started showing some signs, distress signs, which professionals that are involved are expected to know and be able to take the necessary actions. For example, when you go for periodic routine inspections, you will have seen some signs of cracks, you'll have seen maybe water leakages, dampness around the building. The question is, as professionals, what steps are you taking? You are expected to call the property owner, educate the property owner, let them take the right steps in making sure that all these cracks are rectified, dampness are rectified, any forms of distress sign that is observed on the property are rectified. And also, at times when it gets to a point that you feel that this building is showing some chronic distress signs, then you might need to possibly advise the property owner to conduct what they call a non-destructive test. That's a structural stability test, to be able to find out the integrity of that building.
How do you identify it? How do you identify and monitor those buildings at risk collapse? How do you identify
You see, when you're talking
as
about
a surveyor?
when you're talking about building collapse could be for an existing building or a building under construction. A building under construction, definitely, even when a building is under construction, you'll have started seeing some signs while the construction work is going. So the regulatory authority has a whole lot of responsibility, and they have a role to play in making sure that they do regular inspection. As a matter of fact, part of the code of conduct, part of the construction code and policies of Lagos State is that at every point you are expected to invite the regulators before you get to next stage of maybe you want to cast under slab, you want to cast under floor, you want to do under concrete layer. So you have to invite the regulators in making sure that they come around, they certify the building material, they certify everything there before you go to the next stage of construction. That is making it to the board, talking about the building that is under construction. But the building that already exists, the building that people are already living, of course, you will have started seeing a whole lot of signs, cracks on the wall, distress sign, tilted building, wall dampness. All these are signs of distress, which professionals that are involved in the management of a property should take seriously.
Okay, yeah. Do you want to
Yes, I would use Lagos State as a case study since we are in Lagos. Right. It feels like there are more modern building that has collapsed in the recent time than the old buildings. And sometimes we just want to put the blame on the people for not paying attention. Sometimes the government have a lot to do, like starting from the engineers and how they try to maintain materials to build houses. The house or the building that collapsed in Ikoyi, I don't think it was showing any sign when it collapsed. If it was showing any signs and it's that dangerous, then a lot of people would have died in that place. There are also some buildings, modern buildings now. I don't know if you are into real estate, but if at all, you are their neighbors, very close to them, and you might as well be in that business. It feels like now they just want to build that building. It's not about integrity now, it's about making money, and they will do anything to survive. So there are a lot of fake buildings. Why I call them fake building is because when you are supposed to use like 2-3 cements, now you want us to use half, then mix sand with it. Blocks are no longer strong. I mean, walls are no longer strong, foundations are no longer strong, and yet people are building more inside what they call inside water. I mean, there's a name they call all those lands that they are more of water kind of land, swamp area, right? They want to buy because everybody want to become a landlord in Lagos just because of the hike in house rent and all, because house deficit now is crazy, and the government is not even making any attempts, to solve this problem for the people. So the people just get to find themselves. In the recent time, Lagos State have been clearing away people that sleep under the bridges, on bridges and all. Then the question is, are they making any alternative action for all these things they are doing? So you clear people away from sleeping under the bridge. I've never seen one house that, Lagos State built this one for people that are homeless, like IDP kind of center. You can sleep here, go to work until when you can now feed yourself, and then you have that, ability to go. Another one is there is corruption in the building control agency, and that is the honest truth. You pass on the street, you see where they put red mark in the morning. When you are passing in the afternoon, it has been removed, or they continue the job. You understand? And then by the time you ask, they must have given somebody somewhere something to just, I know somebody. Somebody yesterday told me, a taxi driver that take me every morning, said someone came to their park and he parked wrongly, and they tried correcting him, and before they knew it, the man is one of the guys in Lasma in Oshodi. He said they will not open today, that nobody will park. He just want to exercise his power. I'm trying to get his name because we'll drag that matter. That one is by the way. Moving on. Is the government trying to kill the corruption that is in the agency? Because sometimes they will move the agency now. They know this thing is not right. But they just give us what you want. Because Sanwo-Olu will not walk around. There are some streets that he will not even enter till he finished 80 years. But then they have councillors. I mean, let's start from the local community. You have councillor who is even supposed to monitor these things and report. You have landlords associations. There are some estates that they will tell you. I'm sorry, Vera. There are some estates that they will tell you, we don't want hotels in this estate. Why? How did they know they want to build a hotel? Some will tell you we don't want service apartment. It's because they monitor. So if you can do that, I believe you can also help the government to understand that this building is wrong, or this old building, or to there. Another thing is, do we even have database in Lagos? I'm asking you now.
Just allow him answer this. These are very germane, very important questions.
Yeah, you did mention about a new construction that does not show signs and they come down.
Yes.
Yeah, so many factors are responsible for that.
Okay.
So many factors are responsible for that. In some cases, you see developers using inferior materials.
True.
In some cases, you see developers trying to cut corners to be able to maximize their profits. You see, any business-oriented person will always want to maximize the profit. That is where government comes in. Government has a role to play, and the public equally has a role to play. When I say the public, I'm talking about both the neighbors and the professionals have roles to play. Now, what is the role of the government? The roles of the government, number one, before giving an approval, I mean, I know that definitely you'll have submitted your building drawings, you'll have submitted a whole lot of documentation before your approval is given. Now, after the approval has been given, moving to site, the question is, whatever that is being built on site, who is monitoring in ensuring that the approval that has been given is in compliance with what is being built on site? So that is where government comes in. And you see, when you are looking at Lagos State with high population, We have a population of almost 20 million people. In some cases, we have over 20. Some people are saying over 20 million. Some people are saying under 20 million. Let's even take that 20 million people. A population of 20 million people, and you have an influx of people coming into Lagos every day. They have to be housed. A lot of people are involved in property construction. A lot of people are involved in building construction. Now, involved in building construction, how do you ensure that whatever that is being built can actually go in conformity with what has been approved? That is when the professionals comes in. The Lagos State government, in the recent time, I understand that they have just initiated a program which is called CAP. That's a certified accreditors program. Yeah, it has just been. So it's a very good initiative, because Lagos State government officials alone cannot cover the entire Lagos State. So you need to engage professionals at various levels, professionals at local government levels, that they can be registered with Lagos State government. So this will be your hive. This will be the people that will be going to site. So in the neighborhood, wherever they can say, okay, for example, you have been assigned Magodo. You live in Magodo, you work in Magodo. So you have been assigned, a group of people have been assigned Magodo. So anytime you are going around Magodo, you see any construction going on, because it is your field, because you are an expert in that field, because Lagos State government would have trained you on their expectations, the code of conduct. What are the things you are expected to look at? What are the things you are expected to be able to report on? You will just go to the site independently, just visit the site, check the construction that is ongoing, check out the land spaces, are they being observed, the setback, are they being observed, the ventilation, are they being observed, so many things are they being observed. So these are all the things that you are supposed to put together and periodically report to the government. Even in a month when you don't have any report to still report that, okay, for this month, no report to give. You understand? So government cannot do it alone. We all have to collaborate with the government in making sure that this thing is achieved. Even there should be whistleblowers. If somebody is constructing something behind you, and by your own perception, you think whatever the person is doing is not right, what stops you from reporting to the government? So say, look, there's ongoing construction behind me. I don't really think it's right. Can you please, guys, just come and visit it, look at it professionally, and be able to certify if whatever that is being built is in compliance with the approval? So we all have a role to play. We have Lagos State material testing. So for any construction, before you are expected to embark on any construction, you are expected to take some of your materials to Lagos State material testing. Let them look at it, let them test, let them certify it, that whatever that you're going to use for this construction.
So you say you take your materials to Lagos?
Yes,
you
take them. Yes, you take sample. You take sample. You take sample of those materials to Lagos State material testing for testing, and you can equally invite them.
People really do that.
That's why enforcement comes in. People always want to cut corners, but government has a role to play in making sure that they enforce all these things.
Okay, I want to ask you, sorry I'm coming in, because this cab you talk about when you started, do they have enough staff? Because Lagos State is, you know, the number of people that lives in Lagos State. Do they have enough staff to accommodate the buildings and builders in Lagos?
I want to believe the initiative behind CAP is to actually engage professionals in the construction industry, because Lagos State government have realized that they do not have staff that can cover the entire development going on in Lagos State. So the initiative is for the program to actually accommodate various professionals that will be trained on the expectations of the agency, on the expectation of Lagos State government. So at the end of the day, this will be the ambassadors of Lagos State government. This will be the agent and the contractors of Lagos State government that will be going around to be able to monitor buildings that are going on in the state and be able to give the government a necessary feedback that government can take actions on.
Are there policies or support from government because of all of these things that has affected individuals and affected communities, where they just come, just bulldozer everything? Do government give support to people? That's one question. Second question is, what do you think, you know, your solution to all of these issues about building safety? Is Lagos State doing enough awareness for the people?
Yeah, well, I strongly believe Lagos State is doing it. Lagos State is trying, but I mean, it is not yet enough. Lagos State is trying, but I mean, we all know that in the recent times, after the collapse of building in Ikoyi, there has been so many other stringent policies and clauses that have been imputed into building approval processes. So even as of now, even I know one of the clauses or one of the conditions that's just been put down for a structural engineer must be able to have like indemnity to be able to, okay, I'm actually indemnifying this construction or this development.
Yes.
So should anything go wrong, I'll be held responsible. So yes, we are not yet there, but I want to believe Lagos State government is really trying its best towards achieving the necessary goals in preventing building collapse. And yes, professionals too, we're not folding our hands. We're not folding our hands in our own little way. We are sensitizing the public. We are trying to educate the public on the need to engage professionals, because a lot of people out there will just condemn professionals, and they're not real professionals. A bricklayer that has been in the built industry, in the construction industry for a period of about 10-15 years, we approach a public, we approach a layman. So I'm a contractor. What makes you a contractor? So people need to, on the public side too, we need to take a step in actually verifying who are the professionals. If you want to engage an architect, you can go online, go to their website to see the list of registered architects. You want to engage estate surveyors and valuers, go online, get the list registered estate surveyors and valuers. You want to deal with a quantity surveyor, go online. You want to deal with a builder, go online. We all have professional institute whereby you can easily approach and be able to, I'm about dealing with this particular XYZ firm. Can you please verify if they are real professional? Because I can tell you for free, professionals they will guard their certificate jealously, because they know they have a name to protect. So they will do everything possible in making sure that their involvement in building construction is not compromised.
Okay, my last question. Is I want to find out from you. Your institutions, do you have programs? What are the programs? Do you have programs to educate? Because we just pick people from the street. You know, some of us pick workers from the streets to build our houses. You know, you see someone building a builder, I can do these things. And some of us just pick on the street. Do you have plans for the people? What are your plans as an institution? What are the plans, initiatives you guys have taken to educate people, you know, future builders or people, owners of houses? What are your plans?
Yes, we have continuously been engaged in training our members. That's number one. Because yet it's one thing for you to go out there to tell the public that, okay, yes, we can do it. And that is for them to actually be equipped with necessary knowledge to be able to at least carry out this job. We have been training and retraining our members, and from time to time we are back on advocacy program. Just about a few weeks ago, I was still on here whereby we're trying to publicize, we're trying to let people educate and enlighten the public on the importance of engaging professionals in the construction industry, in the built industry, in the areas of property management, facility management, construction supervision, project management, and so many other areas. So the advocacy is ongoing, and we're not going to relent. Even as yesterday, I was doing the program where the same question was still thrown at me. That, oh, what are you people doing to continuously engage the public and let the public really understand in differentiating the agent from the professionals? So we are not relenting in this advocacy program, and I can tell you, before the end of the year, you continuously see us in the various radio program, TV program, in educating the public on the use of professionals to prevent building collapse.
I know that when I was asking a question, Rio wanted to say something.
Yeah, I have a lot to say.
So just because we're rounding off now,
go ahead.
I want you to
another 2 hours. Let's continue.
Go ahead.
No, it's just like just to portray the point. You know, I just imagine, like I said, database. I don't think the governor knows how many buildings we have in Lagos, even if it's not accurate. And then, you know, when I talk about database, I'm not just talking about, oh, we have 3,000 buildings. You know, times when they build those buildings. You know, when they should check or do integrity test on those buildings and all. I just hope they can do better. I mean, it's a long conversation, but we are short. We are what's it called? Time conscious already.
Database is critical to any decision. Database is critical to any decision. And yes, at the professional level, we are trying as much as possible to be able to see how we can build our own database. But yeah, there's a limit to what we can do. But we can only collaborate with the government in saying that, okay, let's collaborate with the government. Okay, this particular area, this particular region, this particular local government, who are the professionals that can actually be assigned towards collation of data? Because in taking any decision that has to do with very sensitive decision, very sensitive areas in the real estate sector, construction industry, you need a very reliable data. Even for investment purpose, you need a very reliable data. Yes. So this is something that government alone cannot do it. So they have to collaborate with the private sectors in making sure that we have like a PPP arrangement towards collection of data that can be very reliable for any government.
I must say thank you to Estate Surveyor and Valuers Tosin Kadri. He is the chairman, Nigerian Institution for Estate Surveyors and Valuers, Lagos State. Thank you so much for coming on this edition
Pleasure.
and educating us, especially Lagosians, on what to do.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
It's a
We'll go
pleasure.
on this break
It's a
now,
pleasure.
and we'll be right back.